right. Good morning, Mr. Taylor. Would you introduce yourself? Tell us your name and DOC number.
Louis Taylor, 541088.
Yes, sir, Mr. Taylor. My name is Cheryl Renatza. Seated to my left is Mr. Danny Byron, and to my right is Mrs. Carolyn Stapleton. Let me acknowledge the folks you have there with you. You have Tashawn Taylor, your son, Ayanna Taylor, your daughter, and Trevine Allen, son, who are with you there. And then we have Andre Taylor, your nephew, who is on Zoom. We have Mary Taylor, your sister, who's on Zoom. She will not be speaking. Otherwise, I'd ask her to pull over because I see that she's in her car. She's just listening in support. So, Mr. Taylor, let me read some identifying information into the record. After I ask you to verify that information. After that, we want to hear from you. We want you to take a few minutes to tell us why you think we should vote to grant you parole today. When you're done, we'll hear from the warden, and your nephew's indicated he wants to speak on your behalf. We'll hear from him, and then we'll begin our parole interview. Okay, ready? All right. Mr. Taylor, you're classified as a first felony offender. You're currently serving 25 years sentence with parole eligibility. Your parole eligibility date is or was October 27, 2023, when the governor signed your commutation of sentence, making you parole eligible after serving 16 years. You have a mandatory release date, which is a good time date, dated August 16, 2027. Is that information correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Mr. Taylor, take a minute and tell us, a few minutes, and tell us why you think we should vote to grant you parole.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank the board for giving me the opportunity to speak for y'all. I want to say how much I'm sorry for what happened to David that day. I feel like I had done enough to make myself eligibility. I took all the classes I needed. I worked on my attitude. I did everything I was supposed to do to make myself a model citizen, to go back into society. I had a write-up in 10 years. I just been keeping my head down, doing the work I'm supposed to do. I just been making sure I don't get myself in trouble. I feel like the board gave me an opportunity to go home. I could be a best citizen in society. I gotta do, make sure I never come back. I can make sure my kids don't follow my footsteps. My nephew, I just asking for one opportunity to show everybody I'm remorseful I did, and give me a second chance in society and go back out there and prove everybody I'm not the same person that came in here. I'm sorry for what happened to Dave, like I said. I'm really hurt for what happened to him and his family. I'm sorry for putting them through that. I'm sorry for putting my family through that. I'm sorry for putting the state through all that what I did. I'm just sorry. I could take it back if I would. I could. I'm sorry it ever happened. It ever got to that point. I wish it never would have happened. I'm just gonna go out there and take care of my family, my 2 grandsons I got. I just want to do the right thing by society. Show everybody I'm a better person, live by the society rule they set in front of me, and do what I have to do to make sure I'll never come back.
All right. All right. Thank you, sir. Warden, anything you want to say about Mr. Taylor?
Yes, Mr. Ronaldo. He's completed some programs. He is a level 1 trustee. He works at Agriculture Department at Ag in Baton Rouge. We got him in, I think it was 2021, brought him in here to be a trustee. He's earned his GED since he's been incarcerated, and we haven't had any issues with him since he's been here.
Thank you, sir. All right, we'll hear from Andre Taylor, your nephew. Sir, we'd like to hear from you.
Good morning, board. Good morning, Warden. How you doing, Uncle Taylor? I just wanted to speak on his behalf as this long journey of 17 years of incarceration, the effect that it had on our family. It was definitely devastating. He seemed remorseful for what happened to the victim, and he definitely apologized and learned from his mistakes over this time. It was just very hard on us as well, as when one person is incarcerated, he's not the only one doing that time. The family do the time. His kids did that time with him. He had to see his kids grow up and become young adults from behind that wall and over a phone. So it would be extremely blessed and heartfelt if he have the opportunity to make it up to him, make it up to society, make it up to his family for the mistakes he made, and be remorseful for the actions that he took when he was not in his right mind, apparently, and just younger. And it probably take time for somebody to mature and to see the wrong they did and the right they could do with the right opportunity. So a second chance would be we're so grateful to him, his kids, and his family.
Yes, sir. Thank you for sharing that information with us.
All right, thank you. Bring me on board.
Mr. Byra will be taking the lead on the parole interview. Your case has been assigned to him. Please answer his questions.
All right, Mr. Taylor, I got a question for you. Can you tell me about the day that Nathaniel Davis got beat? What happened? What was your part in it? And why did y'all pick him to beat up that day? What was going on? Tell me all about that day. I want to know the facts.
Well, I wasn't at the scene when it happened.
I want to know the facts from your perspective. I've seen the police report. I know what the police say. I want to see what you had to say.
When it first happened, when everything first started, I was not at the scene. When it first happened, I had to just pull up and go over there. That's when my co-defender started hitting him and punching him. I thought they had gotten into it, so that was when I proceeded to jump into it. And we started beating him and hitting him and stuff. We tied him up, and my co-defender and I took part of shooting him several times in the body.
You shot him or the co-defendant shot him?
My co-defender shot him.
Okay.
I never shot him. I can't hear you, sir.
You helped to tie him up?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then what? That's it?
No, we just continued beating him, and we're trying to get some answers out of him. We're trying to see what happened to my cousin who shot my cousin, because he was with him when he got shot. And we're just trying to get some answers out of him, and stuff just started escalating from there between him and Craig Smith and another young man that was on the scene with us. And they shot him some more in some kind of way. He lived and he escaped and he survived. And everybody just started running their own separate way.
So it was all about finding out who was involved with shooting your cousin?
Yes, sir. And supposed to have went that far on my part.
Right.
Craig Smith just took it a little further because he wasn't getting what he wanted to hear. And I'm sorry I was there in the first place.
Right. Where do you plan on living if we would let you go?
I was going to Dallas, but they told me I have to stay down here in Louisiana, so I got my team on me to stay in a house in West Regal.
So you're not planning on living in Dallas anymore?
Yes, sir. But they told me I had to stay down here first. I was going to Dallas with my sister because she had her own house and have her own company. I was going to start working with her at her company.
How do we know that you're a changed man? You said you changed and you're not the same guy you used to be. We hear that a lot. In your case, how do we know that that's for real? You know, can you tell us anything about when it happened, how it happened, what made you decide? Was it the first year you were in jail, the second, the last? What, you know, how long ago it happened, and what happened to you to make you realize you needed to do something different?
I started getting old and I started looking at stuff around me. I started looking at society as a whole. I started looking at my kids behind me. I started looking at my family. I started taking reality with what I did to get me here. I had to become a man and realize what I did was not the proper thing to do. This is my first time ever been in jail. So I had to just come to my reality and take acceptance for what I did and start changing my attitude and have a positive attitude and just do what I gotta do to make myself a better person for my kids and myself and society.
Since I am the lead guy in the case, I'm gonna go ahead and put a couple of more details in the record that the victim in this case at the clemency time was opposed to you getting the clemency. However, now we can't locate him, so there's no comment at this particular point. From law enforcement, we have mixed opposition, some no comment, some opposed due to violent crimes. You're low risk, and the sentence was actually commuted on 10/27/23 to parole eligibility after 16 years due to favorable recommendation from the warden, programs you completed, and the low risk score. And that's all the questions, facts I want to bring up.
Okay, thank you. Need a second?
I just got one more to add to the circumstances at the time. It says here that while the man was tied up, and bound with duct tape and dragged to an abandoned house, that y'all set the house on fire.
No, ma'am, the house should be still standing right now. The house should be still standing. It's never set on fire. It's an abandoned gutted house. That's it.
Okay.
Nothing happened to the house.
It's in the report, so yeah, I just wanted to ask about that. That was my only question.
I think the statement in the rest of that story is they left and went get gas to set it on fire. And that's when he escaped to the middle of the street. Is that correct?
That's not really what happened. We never left. We was in the backyard. And he just ran out the front door. We never went nowhere. He just put that in the report, the detective. We never left off the scene.
Nobody ever get any gas or anything like that?
No, sir. They never found no gas. Never found us going nowhere. Nothing. We never went nowhere. We was in the backyard of the same house. We was in the backyard where the whole incident started at. We was back there.
After thinking about it a little more, what were y'all plans for him? What were y'all going to do with him had he not escaped? Had y'all thought about that?
No, sir. My plan was to let him go. That's all I thought we were going to do.
All right.
Well, if you're going to let him go, you shot 3 times. Was there a possibility that somebody thought they were shooting him to the point that he was going to die? I would have thought.
Yes, ma'am. I had stopped him from shooting. Like I said, I never pulled the trigger.
That you were just.
I was just there at the wrong place, wrong time. I had told him it wasn't supposed to go like this.
Okay. Okay, that's it for me.
All right, Mr. Taylor, the panel prepared to vote.
I'll ask for executive session.
We have a motion for executive session. Could you call the roll, please?
Sarah Renassa,
Yes.
Danny Barros,
Yes.
Carolyn State.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Taylor, we're going to be in executive session for a few moments to discuss confidential matters. Stand by, we'll be right back.
A few minutes later.
All right, we are back in regular session. It's 11:36. We're prepared to vote. Mr. Barrow will be voting first.
All right, Mr. Taylor. What you did was obviously a serious crime, but I think you take responsibility for what you did. I think you gave us pretty much the truth about what happened. Looking at your record, you are a true first offender, which we don't see very many of those, where this is actually your first real felony that you ever get convicted of. So I'm going to vote to grant you parole today, based on the fact that you are a true first felony offender, that you've taken responsibility for your crime, that you've done well while you're doing your time in there, and let you know that we recommend that you go to live with your sister in Texas, away from all of this stuff you were doing down here. Because I got a feeling you didn't just fall into that. I kind of got a feeling that there was a little vendetta. Y'all were doing your own vigilante justice for you, who was probably killed. You know, I could go on about what I can think about right there, but there's a little bit more to that story than we know about. So a change of scenery would probably do you good. So we are going to add a special condition that you apply to Texas for the through ICOTS, through the local office. And then if you're not accepted by ICOTS, that let us know, and we'll see what we'll do about that then. Just get the probation officer to talk to us about it.
Yes, sir.
I will vote to grant you parole today.
Mrs. Stapleton.
I will vote to grant you parole today, and I concur with my board member.
Mr. Taylor, I sat on your pardon board hearing. I voted to grant you then. I'm going to vote to grant you today. I do agree with Mr. Barra. I think Texas is the best option for you. So your release will be conditioned upon approval of that out-of-state plan. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
So that's a little bit of time, but the folks there at DCI can help you accomplish that. We'll try to help it on our end as well. So today, Mr. Taylor, your parole's been granted. We're going to work on the interstate compact to Texas. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Okay, we got records in here now, Ms. Renata, and we're gonna get started on that with him today.
All right, great. Thank you, Warden Turner. All right, Warden Turner, that concludes our business at your facility. Thanks for accommodating us. Sign off at 11:38.
Thank you, ma'am. Congratulations.
Yes, sir.